The assembly will come to order. The chief clerk will call a roll.
Assemblywoman Anderson. Assemblywoman Benitez-Thompson. Here. Assemblywoman Bilbra Axelrod. Here. Assemblywoman Black. Here. Assemblywoman Brown-May. Here. Assemblywoman Carlton. Here. Assemblywoman Cohen. Here. Assemblywoman Considine. Assemblywoman Dickman. Here. Assemblywoman Duran. Assemblyman Ellison. Assemblyman Flores. Assemblywoman Gonzalez. Here. Assemblywoman Gorlow. Here. Assemblyman Hafen. Here. Assemblywoman Hanson. Assemblywoman Hardy. Assemblywoman Howdigi. Assemblywoman Kasama. Assemblywoman Krasner. Assemblyman Levitt. Assemblywoman Martinez. Assemblywoman Marzola. Assemblyman Matthews. Assemblyman MacArthur. Assemblywoman Brittany Miller. Assemblyman C.H. Miller. Assemblywoman Monroe Moreno. Assemblywoman Wynn. Assemblyman O'Neill. Assemblyman Ortlicker. Assemblywoman Peters. Assemblyman Roberts. Assemblywoman Summers Armstrong. Assemblywoman Thomas. Assemblywoman Titus. Assemblywoman Tolles. Assemblywoman Torres. Assemblyman Watts. Assemblyman Wheeler. Assemblyman Yeager. Speaker Frierson.
Here. Assemblywoman Benitez-Thompson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. May the record reflect that we have 42 members present.
There are 42 members present. There's a quorum. In recognition of Tribal Day in Nevada, we will have some special presentations today. Each of you have packets on your desk that include Nevada Tribal Nation facts and essential understandings, maps of the reservations and colonies of Nevada and the traditional indigenous territories, a fact sheet on the Stewart Indian School Cultural Center and Museum here in Carson City, and a list of the tribal nations and organizations along with the names of the chairs of those organizations and their contact information. I'll take a point of personal privilege. Of course, today we celebrate Nevada's first resident as we honor Nevada tribes today at the state legislature. Nevada is comprised of 27 tribes, bands, and colonies. These tribes are all unique with traditions that span generations. As one of the most diverse legislatures in the country, I think it's only fitting that we recognize the vast diversity that exists within our indigenous community right here in our great state. Today, we honor their unique languages, cultures, histories, and governments of Nevada, tribal communities, and their contributions to Nevada. We owe our statehood to the indigenous people that came before us. In 1864, Nevada's population was too small to be recognized as a state. However, Abraham Lincoln, through the Enabling Act, allowed Nevada to join the Union by granting our indigenous people state citizenship nearly 60 years before most indigenous people became citizens in 1924. Our silver state and our battle-born heritage was the spirit of an indigenous community that came long before us. There are many places in Nevada to visit that pay tribute to the contributions of Nevada's Native American community, like the Pyramid Lake Museum just an hour northeast of Carson City, or just a few blocks away at the newly renovated Stewart Indian School Cultural Center. But the best way to honor their legacy is to protect our land and our water by standing up for and passing policies that ensure everyone has a right to clean air and clean water. If you have a moment today, reflect on our history. Reflect on where it truly started and take a moment to thank the Nevada Indian Commission for not only being a liaison, but an advocate connecting our tribal lands with our federal, state, and local partners. At this time, would you please stand for a blessing given by 83 years young elder Florence Millett of the Duckwater Shoshone Reservation. Florence is the mother of 6 children, grandmother to 14, and great-grandmother to 10. Spending time with her family gives Florence the greatest joy. Pre-COVID, she enjoyed cheering her grandchildren on at youth tournaments and traveling to powwows to watch her granddaughter powwow dance. Florence loves any opportunity she can get to speak the Shoshone language and enjoys going back to Duckwater to visit brother Jerry Millett and sister Mary Lou, and to Fallon to visit her sister Betty, all of whom speak the Shoshone language.
So good to be here, to see all you people here. And it's always a great honor to be asked to say our Shoshone prayer. It's just a privilege. And I am so thankful that I'm capable and able to still do this at this age. I am a Shoshone native from Duckwater, Shoshone tribe. I live in Fernley, Nevada. I am 83 years old. I have one older sister and one younger sister and a younger brother. I have 4 daughters and 1 son. He's the oldest. They all have families of their own. But I've been speaking Shoshone all my life. I have taught Shoshone for many years in Ely, Nevada, high school, in Reno, Indian colony for a long, long time. And I really miss teaching my Shoshone language. I had so many in attendance, and we made it so fun. I would like to say this prayer. We all bow. Dame apa, zan dame bambuika sikadaipit. I should zan me bambuika namoyon sikinana my nambit. I didn't be a regular no second degohandoi. Zamari buka, zamari nihaninga, zamari degonga, hinarame degonga, dam zasuwi marinang samaran. Dame apa, kuta mari waka, mari nana wani winders, oyo mari bambuika. Dame apa, either outside and dame woman, Adjournment, Corona virus, not in there, outside Adjournment. So dame nanawani wasa, boy tamani, dirani, oil. Vitonai dame wasa. Dame bohogani bambuika, mari de wasai. Oyo no ru. Naria woke natsuri. Dame wakinga. Zan nuts and dame wana. Dame up, sukuzan work. Zan them and suvi, nessuan. Namasa shon seat to woman. Neminana ni wasingan, Kimari went now I Sikamari woman, Kimari mot as I white, Marimia cookavit the bangai, San Sogavit. Nemanao and Kishanus, dummy up. With the Minana money bambuika, good tamari worker. Sikasite, woman, mawit, diabit, habit. Dame up oil and dame bambuika. Name boy work. Oil, name bambuika. Eddie bear when he bambuika. Zan and second ramiba, nanishun dahingan, second eye pit. City oil and bambuika, second meeting in Nihanidni. Oil. Dame week, dame simmers, dame nana one. Sa sukania, sa me week. I should dame in Debia, oil in Debia, dame bambuika, dame nana one, dame simmers. Sa me boy, name week, and dame up. Now I'll interpret what I said in Shoshone, the prayer. I'll have to read it because I wrote it in English so everyone could understand what my prayer was about. Our Father, Thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for the safety in our travels to attend this legislature's meeting today. Lord, give all the speakers strength and courage with open mind. Bless each one of them and comfort. Lord, the coronavirus has taken lives of so many, our loved ones. Lord, help our scientists, doctors, to find the real cure. We all need to protect from getting the virus. Bless each person who are involved in giving virus shots to people. Lord, it is so hard for everyone. They work so hard helping us from this virus. Losing a loved one, knowing we cannot be there to hold their hand. With tears and heartaches, it is so hard. Lord, we are one nation. We are all one family. Give blessings, good thoughts to all our people who need you. Let them reach up and ask for forgiveness, Lord. I know you hear us. I ask you, Lord, to be with all our families. And Lord, ones wherever they may be, whatever they may be doing, watch over and bless each one of them. Lord, bless this day, the beauty all around us. Protect us all. Keep us safe. Always be with us in each step we take, day by day. May God bless each of you in work and in travels home. Amen. Thank you all.
Thank you. The Assembly will remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance recited by Army Ranger Garrett Shaw, a 75th Ranger Regiment, 2nd Battalion. Garrett is a member of the Northern Paiute Tribe, Reno Sparks Indian Colony, and owns and operates Greater Sierra Forge and Farrier.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for the Dene or Navajo version of the Star Spangled Banner sung by Annika Rosen of the Dene or Navajo Nation. Annika is a junior at UNLV where she's pursuing a degree in psychology with a minor in neuroscience. Annika holds the title of Miss Native UNLV.
Yasho danoli hayol kalbi yede badawini go at air danata iye konehes nilini no dos dobes on de souls Naba ye taya bit ahuni ye go de ne ye ne hilte ende da hende ba nilini ahola go benene da ba hatin da holonde eya bet asi hasen Oneha dasit ozende Oshi e so bilsinilgo Danat aholado Nehekeya bikiyagi Kad hoshona hasli
Please be seated while we hear the Paiute version of the flag song sung by Emily Mason, who attends 6th grade at Little Flower School. This song was passed on to Emily and her sister by the late Wesley Jim. Emily is affiliated with the Pyramid Lake, Paiute, Pima, Tohono, O'odham, and Shoshone tribes. Her great-grandparents are Clifford Davis and the late Adeline Lowry Davis, descendants of the Davis, Moore, Lowry, and Abraham families. When she grows up, Emily wants to study biology and eventually become a veterinarian.
Tommy Pio Pa Panakwa Atsa Toa Pui Waiawura Tommy no begin Turgumpa Nazi Quanadan Tommy no begin Turgumpa Nazi Quanadan Tommy Pia Pa Panakwa Atsa Toa Pui Waiawura Tommy no begin Turgumpa Nazi Quanadan Tommy no begin Turgumpa Nazi Quanadan Tommy Pia Pa Panakwa Atsa Toa Pui Waiawura Tommy no begin Turgumpa Nazi Quanadan Tommy no begin Turgumpa Nazi Quanadan.
Please join me in thanking Stacy Montuth of the Nevada Indian Commission and all of the participants who helped us celebrate this important day of observance. We'll now proceed with the business of today, and we go to order business 2, reading and approval of the journal.
Carson City, Monday,
Mr. Speaker.
February 8th.
Assemblywoman Benitez-Thompson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to dispense with further reading of the journal and authorize the Speaker and Chief Clerk to make necessary corrections or additions.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. What do we have next? Go to order business 9, introduction, first reading, and reference to bills.
Assembly Bill 105, introduced by Assemblyman Roberts et al., Senators Hammond et al., enacting interscholastic activities, requiring any board form to govern the Nevada Interscholastic Activities Association to include at least 2 members who are parents or guardians of pupils who participate in a sanctioned sport, requiring any advisory board to a governing board to include at least 2 members who are pupils currently participating in a sanctioned sport, and providing other matters properly laid thereto.
Assemblywoman Bilbray Axelrod.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to have AB 105 referred to your hardworking Committee on Education.
Without objection, so referred.
Assembly Bill 106, introduced by the Committee on Ways and Means, an act making an appropriation to the Office of Economic Development for the provision of grants to certain entities impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, and providing other matters properly laid thereto.
Assemblywoman Carlton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would move that Assembly Bill 106 be referred to your Committee on Ways and Means.
Without objection, so referred. I think we'll go to now order of business 15, remarks from the floor. Assemblywoman Benitez-Thompson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Seeing no other business, but nope.
Assemblywoman Titus, sorry.
Sorry, thank you, Mr. Speaker, for acknowledging me. I appreciate the moment. Mr. Speaker and members of this body, I would like to add a voice to the tribute today of our American Indian brothers and sisters who, living in harmony with nature, have served as the first stewards of this great land. And they were very much battle-born. Manifest destiny and fate brought our ancestors together for more than a century and 3/4. War and peace were waged. Through laws, treaties, and pledges, we have promised to support and protect American Indians. I would like to tell you a personal short story. During my 37 years as a family physician, I cared for many, many Shoshone and Paiute tribal members, as there are several Indian colonies and reservations in my area. Mr. Speaker and members, healthcare disparities are real. As we heard and mentioned in our prayer, worries about COVID and other diseases still are a great concern to tribal members. I started practice in 1984, and within 6 months of starting practice, my TB skin test converted because I was exposed from a member. They didn't know they had it, and I didn't know they had it, and so we were both treated. But today, I want to acknowledge that woman on the screen there. That's Ethel Fredericks. She was a particularly very special patient of mine. She was born on September 10th, 1906, on the family ranch in Sweetwater, Nevada, where she spent her childhood and young adult years. Her mother, a native Paiute, was born near Sweetwater in 1872. And during Ethel's childhood, she learned the Paiute language and many traditional activities of her native culture. Ethel married on April 15th in 1927 in Carson City, and they moved to her husband's ranch, the Smalling Ranch, in Reese River Valley, Nevada, where she had 2 daughters. They then moved to Ione, where Clarence worked in a mine and unfortunately died, and she moved back to Smith Valley. She then remarried, and she and her husband Alfred owned and ran the Central Bar in Smith Valley, which Central Bar is closed now, but we, in our younger days, had many a good time there. She ended up moving to Yerington to live with her daughter after her second husband died, and then to Fernley with her granddaughter. It really brings me joy to share the story of Ethel, of someone who was so proud of her heritage and endured all those she touched during the centuries she graced us with her life. She died at the age of 104. But what I really loved about Ethel was all the times that she was in my office and we would visit about her Nevada heritage. And she told me the story that my little grandmother, and I say little because my grandmother never got over the 5 feet tall and stayed single for a long time, would go pick up Ethel in her horse and buggy and take Ethel to church. And they had great stories to share. Mr. Speaker and this body, thank you for letting me share the story of this wonderful woman and her life. Thank you.
Assemblywoman Medina Thompson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Seeing no other business before us, I would move that the Assembly adjourn until Wednesday, February 10th, the hour of 11:30 a.m.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We are adjourned.